Ladies and gentlemen, if you can start taking your seats, please. We're going to get on the way not too very long. Thank you. We're going to get started in about 2 minutes. Can everybody take a seat? So please give us 1 more minute. Just trying to get the presentation up. Technical difficulties always happen in the beginning. Apologize. Well, Graham is trying to get everything set up. I think I'm just going to start. Thanks everybody for coming out on a Sunday evening on a bank holiday. You guys are really, really dedicated and true fans of the LBS Hackathon. So thank you very much for coming here, first of all. I want to go a little bit into essentially what happened about 48 hours ago, almost exactly 48 hours ago. We had about 70 participants all in the other room, and it was chaos, but in a good way. We had about 50% LBS, 50% students, and it was interesting kind of dynamic that was going on. We had about 30 pitches going in, and today we have 11 teams that are going to be presenting. So really excited to be introducing them very, very soon. So a little bit about the LBS Hackathon, first of all. It's not just another hackathon. We're trying to build a stronger entrepreneurial community here at London and also at LBS by combining London Business School's business strength with some of the top coding and design talent around London. LBS students can meet their future co-founders and also put what they have learned in the classroom into action. And the coders and designers can learn from some of the best and brightest minds in the business world. And to give you a sense of our diversity, if I had a presentation up, I can show you some numbers. But like I said, it was a 50-50 split in terms of technical and non-technical business. And 50% of the students or the participants had ideas. 70% of them were students, and we had 6 other schools besides LBS, including KCL, UCL, Imperial, and Oxford, and a total of 29 ideas. So I would like to give a thanks first to our sponsors who really made this happen. Without them, the hackathon would have never really flown off. First of all, the Deloitte Institution of Innovation, and also Jeff for coming out today as our judge and being one of our biggest and first supporters of the LBS Hackathon. I think I had the first conversation with Jeff back in mid-February or so, just kind of pitching him the idea, and it has come truly a long way. And next is Startup Manufactory. Matt, who is also in front, runs Startup Manufactory. And Matt's been more of a partner in crime rather than just a sponsor of the hackathon. And it probably would not have taken off as quickly as it did. Everything from speaker recruiting to, next one. Let's go over to, there we go. Everything from speaker recruitment to getting the boot camp set up, to being a judge here today. Matt's been a fantastic help for us. Next is Sussex Place Ventures, has been a really generous supporter as well of the hackathon. And Ivan, who I don't see in the audience yet, but he'll be here later. He was a fantastic mentor for the hackathon teams. And the 7 teams that basically went through Ivan, they all went through some kind of critical pivot at some point because he was really good at catching some of the pitfalls in their thinking. So Ivan was really good with that. Next is Content House, who has been phenomenal in terms of providing live coverage of the hackathon. Here we have Torsten, who, raise your hand. Good stuff. So if you guys go on to www.lbshackathon.com, you'll see the live stream and all the action that's been happening over the past 2.5 days. And there's a lot of content, and you will see that teams have gone quite a ways as well. So thank you, Torsten, and also Kate for covering the LBS Hackathon. They've been completely tirelessly working for the past 2.5 days. Also, Itsu for providing some of the lunches that we had for the hackathon. So nothing like breaking up the pizzas and the sandwiches with some healthy sushi and salad, right? Like I said, we're not a traditional hackathon. We try to be healthy as well with some Diet Coke mixed in there too. And also Microsoft Ventures for helping us market the event and also providing BizPark for all the participants after the hackathon. We can go into that a little bit later. And also Techstars for helping market and also helping us with the speaker recruitment. And Tack here is actually one of our judges. So thank you, Tack, for being here and also providing some of the mentorship hours for the winners of the hackathon. Seedcamp for also helping with the marketing and also providing the mentorship. And Tom Wilson, who is investment manager of Seedcamp, is also here as judge. And General Assembly for providing essentially the marketing support as well as some of the discounts, £20 gift certificates for all the participants of the hackathon. And finally, We Got Coders for helping last week's boot camp by running one of our coding basics workshops that was really, really helpful for the non-technical people, the non-technical participants of the hackathon, and coming in and helping with the participants over the weekend. So their coding knowledge was very much appreciated by the teams. And next, I would like to introduce our awesome judges. So first, we have Matt Coopers, who is sitting right in front from Startup Manufacturing. And then we have Jeff Skinner, who is the head of the Deloitte Institute in Innovation and Entrepreneurship, and Tak Low from Techstars, and Matt Wilson from SeedCamp. Can you give them a round of applause, please? So these guys have had years and years of looking at pitches and also startups. So all the teams are going to be in for a treat, and I hope they are ready. And next, finally, I would like to thank my fantastic team. So people ask me, how do you run a successful hackathon? Well, the secret sauce to running a really good hackathon is to have a really fantastic team. And luckily this time I had it. So we have Roman and Graham, who were basically on the speaker recruitment, and then Graham and Courtney on getting our sponsors in line. And then Ramona and Ankita for getting all the participants in line. We probably went through 20 different channels, 15 different schools, 5 different accelerators. So we kind of span all the channels to get everybody in the same place. Eduardo has been doing an awesome job with getting the t-shirts ready and the websites. And finally, we have our operations folks, our operations ninjas, Marissa, Giles, and James, who are basically on call 24/7 for the past 2.5 days. And they've been basically working their butts off to make this happen. So please give a round of applause for the team. And also, really big thanks to all the volunteers, who have been helping us with everything from food, guiding the speakers, getting the room set up. They're all in the black shirts. So thanks to them as well. If you guys have any questions, just go to any person with the black shirt. So without further ado, I'm going to go into the pitches, but just a quick overview. It's going to be 5 minutes of presentation, 3 minutes of Q&A from the judges, and then we're going to have a 10-minute break after the 6th presentation. And the first team that's going to go on is going to be Smart GDS. Can we get Smart GDS on the stage? For setting up every tech demo, it's going to take a couple of seconds to set up, so stay put. Thanks.
Yeah, it's trying to laugh for us. Trying to get it. Yeah, because we're supposed to get over that. So should we? Yep. Thanks. There we go. A little bit better. So maybe we're going to do this. Okay. Cool. I'm not sure the sound is coming from the stream. It's not. I'm not sure. It's definitely going.
But is it going from the built-in mic or this one?
It's coming from this because I can hook this up for some reason. This one. Yep.
So then probably what we can do is
We'll figure out later.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll figure out later. That's good.
Right, good afternoon. We are Smart GDS. We built a GDS itinerary building engine for travel agents. This is the team. My name is Julian Asher. I'm the founder. I'm one of the world's top 20 African travel experts. And this is my team for the hackathon. Great team. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the market. Contrary to what you might have heard, traditional travel agents are not dead. 104,000 US travel agents sold over $24 billion in leisure travel in 2014. The number of people using agents is growing, over 14 million in 2014. Interestingly, affluent people prefer to use agents, and specifically for complex or expensive trips. There are over 26.8 million affluent, defined as an annual income over 100K households in the US. If 1/4, 20% of them took a trip for 25K, that'd be over 1.7 billion in revenue. Travel technology players have traditionally ignored the dead agent sector, leaving a significant gap in the market, as most travel agencies still rely heavily on manual procedures. So here's our opportunity. Our travel market is travel agents focused on affluent travelers who want to visit challenging destinations. We've focused the product launch on Africa to leverage my destination expertise. We can easily scale to other challenging destinations such as India, Southeast Asia, and Latin America. Why do travelers use agents for these destinations? 3 main reasons: complexity, risk reduction, and because a lot of suppliers won't work directly with consumers. Why do agents want to book these destinations? Reasons: higher spend, 10 or 15K per person versus 5K, higher margins, 15 to 10%. What are the challenges for agents booking these destinations? 2 main concerns about the ability to build a logistically optimized itinerary, and concerns about the quality of the client experience due to lack of personal understanding. So how do things happen now? If you were to walk into a travel agent today, thanks for planning our cruise. We'd like to go to Africa this summer. Look forward to seeing what you got. Travel agent doesn't know enough to build the itineraries. They've got 2 choices. Choice 1, they contact an expert, somebody like me. This option is time consuming, and it is expensive because I will take a large chunk of their margin. The results, client may love the trip, but be unhappy with the price. Agent is unhappy because I've taken a large chunk of the profit. The option 2, propose a CAN package, no opportunities for customization. End result there, the itineraries fight with the 5 wants, they're not happy. Agent isn't happy either because canned itineraries have low margins. So right, now let's look about what we built this weekend to address this problem. All right, so here I'm the travel agent. I'm on the website of Smart GDS, and I'm going to go and I'm going to build an itinerary. So first, I'll add my members of my group. So here we've got John Smith and his wife, whose name also happens to be John. And because John and his wife have been my clients as a travel agent for several years, the budget's about 25K. I know they want to travel in the summer or the autumn. I know they like boutique historic hotels. I know they're happy to do any sort of safari style. And they're on their honeymoon, which is great. And they like to start out in Cape Town. Okay, in terms of experiences, Smart GDS guides me through potential experiences I can offer them. They really love to see the Big 5. They like to do some game viewing. Oh God, they got to see Big Falls, and John loves wine. We got to go there. And that then drives what destinations I offer them. Because of their interest in Big Falls and wine tasting, got to go to Southern Africa. And then within Southern Africa, some of the destinations are pre-selected, again, based on their preferences to optimize around what the customer wants. And this is all looks great. Okay, and then I'll say, all right, all thing I need to do is I choose Zambia, Big Falls. Then we go, and our itinerary building algorithm builds an itinerary which is optimized for them around their preferences. I can, as the agent, I can say, all right, I think we want 2 days of wine tasting, so I'll add a day there. I look at the rest of this. Okay, this all looks good, but let's give them an upgrade in Big Falls, and we'll upgrade them to the Royal Livingston. And all the pricing updates. So I see, all right, here's the client cost, $22,000. That's within their budget. Great. The cost to me, the agent, $19,000. It's 14% margin. So let's check availability. Okay, all the availability is pending. Some of the flights are available. And then I can even export a virtual itinerary for my clients so they can see what they've got. So here we've got Cape Town, wine lemons, sugar. Okay, great. So now back to our value proposition. Okay.
up.
All right.
Depressing question. Why couldn't have this been done 5 years ago?
It's a very interesting question. I think part of it is because the travel agent sector still remains, as I said before, very manual. Interestingly, the OTAs and the other online players have really neglected the sector because the assumption is that travel agents are dead. And one of the reasons I got into this was because they're contacting me and asking me for help. There's only one of me every amount of time in my day. I say, so why not build a tool that enables them to get mini speed?
Just on the kind of like there was a slide which showed the kind of process. Just go back to that slide.
You mean the
kind of like,
manual process?
yeah.
This is the manual process.
So just talk through kind of like how differentiated it is using the kind of like the actual tool.
Okay, actually we do have a backup slide which shows exactly that. Okay, so this is the Smart GDS. This is the Smart GDS transaction flow. So here, you've got, again, traveler comes to the agent. That's the same as before. But instead of the agent being forced to say, wait, I haven't got a clue, I don't know what to do, they can go to the tool, and it will guide them through the process of building the itinerary. And they're able to, and it's also much quicker. Going to an expert like me often takes about a week to turn things around, because the agent doesn't know what questions to ask the client. The tool guides them through the question process and enables them to create a customized itinerary. Literally, they can do this in 10 minutes while the client is sitting there. And as you can see, after you generate the itinerary, you send them the virtual thing. You can iterate as many times as you need. And then meanwhile, you're sending queries to your suppliers. Once the client's happy, the suppliers are all available. You hit book, and there you go. You're off.
Cool. So 2 questions on this side. So on the business model, you said you're coming to the margins. What's your percentage? And then, other than validating it through your own personal payments, have you validated through other customers this weekend?
Not this weekend, but I've interviewed several many hundreds of travel agents about this, because this has been something that I've noticed quite a couple of years ago. In terms of so you guys got the revenue model. Unfortunately, that was the slide afterwards. But so here's the revenue model. We've got 5 different revenue streams. It's a freemium product, but then obviously we can charge for certain things, like the virtual itinerary would be an in-revenue stream will be your bookings, and that's the revenue model traveling are very familiar with and comfortable with. So basically, your booking platform, we split it out. As you saw these examples, the agent takes about 15%, Smart GDS takes the other 15%.
Thank you very much. It's pretty interesting. However, the traveling space is quite crowded, I would say. And I mean, what is the USP based on? Is the USP based only on the UX? And also, what is your differentiator and barriers of entry to others?
Okay, the main USP is the sort of optimization of the itinerary building process. This is something that a travel agent who has never been to Africa cannot do right now. They only have those choices. Expert has to do for them, or take the off-the-shelf itinerary. They do not have either the skill set or the knowledge base to build it themselves.
Time is up. Thank you. While they're setting up, one question I just got was, did all the teams set up the products from scratch since Friday? The answer, yes. So all the teams just had a business idea on Friday, and now they have a business pitch. So let's get.
Hi everyone, I'm Courtney Carson and I'll be presenting Skip. So I want to talk to you a little bit about a little dilemma I had last week. I wanted to go find a new black dress. So I went down to Oxford Street because it's close to LBS and decided to pop into Topshop. So I walk into Topshop and it's like a freaking zoo. I'm sort of weaving around, trying to go around the escalator, find a couple of options of black dresses. It took forever, super crowded. It was about 11 a.m. on a Wednesday. Once I finally found the dressing rooms, and there's another queue. So I'm queuing for about 20 minutes to actually try the dress that I had. And I finally get into the room, try my stuff on, choose what I want, and then I return the stuff I don't want, but I'm again queuing to return everything. And off to pay, but again, there's a queue. That took about 20 minutes. So we decided to on a solution to this for retailers, and that's what we've been working on. Skip. There we go. The team has been awesome. We have some superstars, so Briac, Philippe, Dami, Heather, Aaron, Emma, and myself. This is some photos we took yesterday at Topshop where we went to go actually see how bad the queues were. They were terrible, as you can see. So in terms of the in-store experience has been a little bit difficult, but the online experience is also a little bit cumbersome. So if you want to actually try your stuff on at home, they'll send it to you, but it takes a couple days. Oftentimes the fabric doesn't always feel the same or look the same. The fit never works or it doesn't work. And actually about 40% of sales from online end up being returned. So here's a little dilemma. So what we're trying to do is actually bridge the gap between this online and offline experience. An app where you can, or an integrated app, so you can actually download in real time. You go into the store, have your items already laid out in the changing room, so you avoid all this queuing business. Try on your stuff, and ultimately, we would actually want you to be able to pay directly in the changing room as well. And so that leads to no queuing, and that's what we've been working on. So I want to show you these. So as you can see here, we're going to go through onto the actual app or the website. Sorry, it's just taking a few seconds. So here we are. So we would be integrated, as I mentioned, we'd be integrated in terms of the inventory. Click on the item that you want. So you add the basket. Make your appointment to try on the item in store. You choose the time. You choose the store and the location. And then it spits out a confirmation and a QR code. You go into the store and take your appointment. Easy peasy. And then we're also going to be offering the application, which is basically the same thing. So we'll quickly walk you through it. So you choose your shop again. And again, everything is integrated, so you know exactly what is available in stores. So if there's something that you don't want, have it in the Bond Street Topshop, you can go to a different one. So that's our app. We did a few customer surveys just to back up our notion, and we saw that the two most important issues for end customers are waiting in queues and actually finding the right size, which proves our hypothesis. And retailers or customers aren't the only ones having a massive headache, it's also the retailers. So long queues are actually costing our retailers $1 billion per year in potential revenue. And then also they're losing market share. So if you look at the last one, 74% of UK customers would go to a competitor store if they have to queue for too long. So in terms of a revenue model, we are going to actually, we've been looking at OpenTable as a nice model. We think that it's a proven and successful way of generating revenue. So we'll be charging only the retailers, so it's super easy to garner users in terms of the end user, the shopper. And we'll be charging a monthly licensing fee per store, and then also a fee on transactions. And then we've actually. So the team's going to come up and help me answer some questions.
So the retailer is your number one customer.
Yeah. So they're the ones who are going to be paying the revenue, paying our fees, and then so we have two. We really have two
So,
customers.
okay, so the end user and
Yeah, the end user and the retailer.
Charter panel. Why are the retailers being so stupid at the moment?
You know, I'm really not sure actually. I think that they've been really focused on other things and they just don't have time to develop something like this. I know a lot of retailers such as House of Fraser that we spoke with have already started kind of looking into a queue management system, but the current system that they're using, it doesn't have this integrated facet. So they're really just managing the queue, but actually giving this additional experience in terms of time savings for their customers.
Great. Thanks for the presentation. So people look at this kind of trying to solve this problem, which is I think like who would you say are your main competitors and how are you going to stand out from this?
So we recently, well, QGenie is probably our main competitor. It's really just a real-time waiting management system. So you're still waiting. It'll kind of show you, and then once you're we are an appointment at some point, and you can manage your schedule around that.
Cool idea. I hate queues, lines. Obviously, I'm a big shopper. So I totally buy into the fact that customers, like most unique people, hate queues, but I don't think those are your customers, right? I mean, the retailers are the ones paying the money. This means a lot of operations upheaval, training new staff, figuring out some rooms will be, we'll have stuff and they, those can't be touched because there's certain people that are queuing for that. So I guess my question is, have you validated this with the true customers, the ones that are actually paying, and with the idea that the obstacle is going to be that big, that retraining is going to be that difficult?
Yeah, absolutely. So actually, I started speaking with two major retailers, and it was an informal discussion, so I can't mention their names, but I can mention them to you later. And they both were very, very interested. One of them was the one that's been using QGenie, and then the other one is a very large retailer that actually has stores globally. And they're looking. They were for this in particular. They were looking to use something like this for these new markets that have only just rolled out the online e-commerce world. So we're sort of bridging that gap, and it's going to still bring customers in store, but also start training the customers to use online as well. And then in terms of staff management, they're not really doing anything else that they aren't normally. They're grabbing clothes.
Please grab. Next one is endorsement. Endorsement comes to stage.
Because you can't just do that. You need to get to this.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're Team Indoors. We're going to present our idea. Bad news is we don't look our best. We've been up for 3 days. Good news is we feel our best. Now, what are we? We're a marketplace and we're planning to connect athletes and brands for endorsements. We've recognized that there are inefficiencies in the market. It's a liquid marketplace. There's a gap. We've forgotten athletes and injustice. We're de-risking athletes. We actually sent out a survey of 39 athletes. We asked them, 100 athletes, actually 39 responded. We said, are you interested in endorsements? Overwhelming yes. Do you know any option, any routes to getting endorsements? They said no. And to use an online platform to be connected to a brand to get endorsements? Overwhelming yes. Customer segment, 3-tier, brands, agents, and athletes. We're predominantly going to focus on tier 2, tier 3 athletes who are not represented properly. And some agents who already have tier 2, tier 3 athletes are going to come on board. But ultimately, I think we're disrupting the agent space. Value proposition, there are quite a few of them, but the ones that headlines, it's instant for everyone, cost saving for everyone, control and transparency, good analytics, and it actually empowers the athletes. And spot versus campaign, that's actually a very important point, because right now, endorsement is mainly campaign. We're giving a spot transaction, quantified metrics. You can buy someone for £7,000 for one particular thing. Competition, it's happening right now, so something is working. So there is competition. We're hoping to better that. Brands, if they don't come to us, where do they go? It's over there. If athletes don't come to us, where do they go? Family, no agents. But we want to converge that. That's our plan. I'll pass you on to each.
Yes. Through the corporate endorsement, we will contribute to the community, sports community from the bottom to the top. We have key resources called tangible, intangible, human resources as well, that we will use for the key channels to create the brand and connect it to the athletes. It looks like a spaghetti, but it's like a really ecosystem to create the sustainable growth of the connecting the brand and athletes.
So we have done our market research, and as you can see, over the last 10 years, the sports sponsorship market has been growing steadily. And even within the UK, there's a 15 billion of the market share. And soccer, as you can see, is also the main sport that is very popular. And we've calculated in the UK, we are going to target a 10 million athletes out of all the unrepresentative athletes in the next 3 years. And with that, we think we can generate 8 million from the revenue through commission fee, through the service that we will provide. And in terms of cost, we definitely will be focusing on our technology, also the human capital, as well as the sales and marketing. And now we are going to help you to see how we are going to run.
Okay, so basically I'm an athlete. This is the login page. I log in. This is how it looks, my homepage. So you have here all my information, my bio. You can check my recent accomplishments, the upcoming events. So they are here. Also, you can see the activities that I'm willing to perform in order to get an endorsement and the prices that I'm asking. Here I'm going to find some new endorsements. In this case, I have 3 very nice brands that are looking for people to endorse. I have the conditions here. They are not of my interest because they are all 1-year contracts. So I'm going to log out for now.
I'm a brand, and when I log in, immediately I'll see a dashboard of all the players that I've endorsed currently and actively. As you can see, it will show normally very good analytics about the performance, so I don't need to check up on my endorsements. Analytics such as how the performance. So as you can see, Gandalf the White has maybe scored 5 goals in the last game. Brilliant. I'm going to now look for a new athlete to endorse. And so using the filters on the left, I have chosen tennis players. And Ricardo seems very cheap and cheerful at the moment. So let's stick inside it. As you can see, Ricardo, wow, unbelievable. Upcoming events, 3 events is upcoming, and for 2,100, I'm going to make him an offer.
Okay, so I'm Ricardo again. I just received an email in my phone, so I'm gonna check it. I'm gonna log online. Oh, I have my inbox. I have a new inbox. You haven't received a new offer. Nice. Let's check it.
Yes.
So the new offer is for the LBS Tennis Cup.
Time is up.
I'm gonna accept
Presumably this happens already, it's just very inefficiently. I mean, you're not creating a new market, you're making an existing market efficient.
Yeah, we're aggregating. I mean, we're taking everyone's inventory, being the athletes, and connecting them just better. I mean, Uber did this, everyone has done this previously. So, yeah, that's the short
Okay,
answer.
and so the pricing for this already exists. I mean, you can tell pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, agents are charging 10 to 20%, but they're giving a solution. So we're saying we're not giving a total solution like mentorship, those things that agents offer, hand holding. We're going to come down to 7%. We give you metrics, we give you instant. The thing is, spotting campaign is very important.
Cool. 2 questions on my end. One is, cool idea. $500,000, so put it in this. But I think the real question is focus, right? What is the team really going to focus on? So one of my first questions is, which sports are you going to focus on? And the second thing, which ones will you have a competitive advantage? The second question is, what's more important, the brands or athletes, when you're focusing on building this marketplace?
First question. Soccer is predominantly getting like 85–90% of the industries, but it's also in terms of athlete numbers, that's where it is. So second, third tier leagues, that's what we want to go for, because that's where the liquidity is. We also consider tennis. The second question, we don't want to represent either. We're a platform here, we connect them. I mean, we're taking a fee from the transaction for a placement fee. We're empowering we're empowering athletes in a way, and we're also giving metrics and analytics whereby brands can add value, have diversity. So representation of both.
Yeah, thank you. It's a great idea, actually. Quite like it. So what is your route to market strategy? How do you get sales? How do you get traction on either side of the market?
Influencers, clubs, associations. I think we're getting traction with athletes who are hungry. Desperate is the wrong word. It's easier. But with brands, it's slightly more complicated. Where we get maybe agents on board, someone who's on the board, a black book, we can get some traction with the agents.
How do you solve the chicken egg question?
Athletes or brands.
Yes. Suppliers and demand. What do you want to get first?
I think we need to get inventory first. We want to have good athletes and then get traction with some brands. And we can in-house sponsor them. We have protection measures to make sure that actually we don't get bypassed with the ad value that we're giving.
That's really interesting. So from your background, I mean, is there anyone who has kind of, I know you said you're an athlete in the tennis world, but anyone who has like real kind of industry expertise here, or do you think that's someone who might bring on board?
That's the other good news. None of us know anything about sports. No, I'm kidding. We know enough about sports and we've done market research, and I think being an outsider is actually a strength. We definitely need to beef up the team with someone within the industry.
Excellent. Thank you. Okay, we have Raihan. Raihan, up to stage.
Hi everyone, my name is Nai and I'm here to search for YHunt. I want you to take a moment and think of how a pleasurable experience it was looking for your next job, if you got it yet. For me, it wasn't not much. And by the way, I still don't have an internship. So I think I could have used this time more wisely, having a cold drink at the winter. So we have interviewed 40 job applicants and did 2 in-depth interviews with SME recruiters. And they all have the same concerns concerning the process. It is time-consuming, it's inaccurate and unfair. Job applicants, and I'm sure you know that, hate writing long CVs and actually tailoring the cover letter every time they apply to a new company. And on the other side, the recruiters hate going through piles of applications and looking for that specific skill. But to make it even worse, it's inaccurate. I mean, they believe that this CV is not a full reflection of your skills to do one technical skill per job. So sometimes someone who is underqualified ends up taking the job just because they know how to oversell themselves or they use buzzwords. In fact, the market has really non-promising numbers. 50% of these CVs do not even reach the recruiters because softwares scan them and look for buzzwords. 80% of the jobs are not even posted online, which says a lot about how trustworthy the process is. And then finally, the turnover cost can be as high as 400% of the annual salaries. And we looked at the market. Who are the players there? There are pretty good players, but if you look at SMEs, nobody caters for them. The solutions are either generics or they are very expensive to implement. And therefore, we identified a market opportunity for YHunt. So how does YHunt work? Put yourself in the shoes of Emma. Emma is a recruiter at Mineco, which is a mining company looking to find a mining manager, a mining engineer, I'm sorry, with very specific skills, not connection skills. Can you stop the timer? Come on. Fine. All right, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. So Emma will go to the website. She will start a new job posting, and she will start a new challenge. The challenge is she will compose just a series of very simple questions with multiple choice answers and open-ended ones that target specifically that job only. And only the person who is qualified will be able to answer these questions. And she will post the challenge. And then Joe, who is the mining engineer, will look for the job, see the challenge, take it, answer the questions, and that's it. No CVs, nothing until this point. Later, Emma will log in, and she will find a table with the results of the applicants who did that game, ranked from the top performers to the low performers, and she'll be able to access the profiles of these applicants. And then she will contact the one that she's interested in. At that point, Joe will actually receive a notification, and only at that point he will provide a very limited amount of information that Anna asked him for. And then he will be invited to the interview and hopefully get the job. Well, in the long term, we are looking to innovate in terms of data analysis. We will have collected a lot of data, and we will be able to provide unique insights that other companies do not have it. We will aggregate technical, performance, demographic, psychometric data from the tests that were already taken to be able to produce reports, but also to suggest talents once a company will show interest in a job posting and say, I want these specific skills. So we will save them the hassle, the time of looking for jobs. We will actually push the applicants towards them. In terms of revenues, it's going to be free for applicants. It's going to be free for job seekers up until the point of viewing the results. Once they want to get the contact of the talent, they will have to pay a fee or get a premium subscription. We'll also tap on the ads and referrals revenues from educational content providers such as lynda.com. And then finally, we will charge a higher fee when we push the talent to the customers because this is saving them time money and produce the insightful reports. Thank you, and sorry, like the demo didn't work, but it is working. You can test it after that. I will want to thank my team, and specifically Manan, who provided a lot of help. Manan, are you here? Yeah, thank you very much. It was really helpful to have you.
Thank you very much. So you're basically moving part of the assessment center, further down the line, basically, and people are doing it from home. Am I correct?
We're moving it, but we're also reducing the amount.
Right.
So you are not, first, recruiters do not have to scan a lot of applications. So out of 1,000, they will only interview 10 maybe. And job applicants don't have to write a lot of cover letters. If they pass the test, and then the company will ask them, okay, fine, give me your experience, give me your past jobs. So they're digging deeper at a later stage and with a lower pool of resources.
How to make sure people are not cheating at home?
Well, that's two things. The questions are, so the demo would have showed it. And then a second thing, they have to go after all at an interview. So they will be warned that it's super technical. You're wasting your time. Why would you want to show up to an interview if these technical? You're not a mining engineer, right? You will fail. First time you do it, second time you give up, and there are reviews. Like this could be linked to their account. And once we receive bad review from a recruiter, it's a black dot on the applicant's name.
First thing, good job on improvising. We're actually looking for interns, so if you want to talk later, happy to do that. It takes,
I'm looking for interns too.
it takes guts to do that. So awesome. Hey, so just we didn't really talk about this, but you said this would be challenge based. So are these, who are you really addressing? Are they kind of non-technical people? Are they technical people? I'm having difficulty understanding who you're trying to cater to.
We're targeting technical people with very specific skills. If you look at the question, one of the questions was, what is the type of the pumps that should be used in India for a specific mining thing that I'm not aware of? And not everyone will be able to answer these questions, and this is where the value comes. This will not show in the CV. CV will say, okay, I work at Shell or Google or somewhere. Any other question?
Again, this is it that it's now online that enables this to be something that couldn't have been done 5 years ago? I mean, this has been a problem for a long time, so I'm wondering why somebody hasn't done it.
Maybe there hasn't been a LBS hackathon. I don't know. I just introduced the team, and I think I give them the chance to introduce themselves.
I'm Renato from Milano. I come especially for the LBS hackathon. And very nice to be here. Thank you.
I am Maurizio. I come from Italy. I am a PHP and MySQL programmer.
And I am an LBS. Time is up. Sorry. Next up, we have Keep Fit team.
There's this thing they call there's nothing that is bang. You know that? But there's the bits, atom, neuron, and genes. Oh, that. So basically, the goal It's a good one. Yay, great demo.
Guys, my name is Titus, and I'm here with PeakFit. We're really excited to talk about our new product. We'll get started with the video right away. Hey guys, you guys got a quick glimpse of what we're trying to do. To get about the nuts and bolts here and get into that, I'm going to hand it off to Kshitij, who's going to talk about the iPhone app.
So as you can already see, ladies and gentlemen, today with us we actually have Titus, and he uses past experience in US airports to develop some key metrics that could be used to actually track workout. So here with us, we actually have the nuts and bolts of the app. And since our key focus is to track how your workout is going to look like, let's say you want to do flat bench today in the gymnasium, and at the bottom we basically have how many kgs you lifted, how many reps you did, and for what particular set did you did that in the previous week. And similarly, we are also tracking exactly the same data for this time, all seamlessly using Siri, and you don't even have to take your phone out and do all of those clunky unlocking. And that's kind of the USP. But more importantly, we want to focus on the statistics that because we realize that workouts in gyms these days can actually be a lot of really data heavy. So as you can see over here, the app would be able to collect statistics for every muscle in the body. Let's take the chest muscle, for example. You'd be able to monitor what we call as the peak performance index. Again, that is something that we have developed in-house using Titus's extensive experience, and you'd be able to track what your actual progress is against what your actually planned workout is. Now, because we said that this seamlessly connects with the iPhone as well, I pass it back to Titus to run through the iPhone app.
You guys, I'm really excited to talk about the Apple Watch extension for this this application. So we can pull that demo up, please.
The Wi-Fi's down.
All right, I'll improvise a little bit. The key part of our value proposition is that we want to make logging and tracking your application as easy as possible. We know when we're at the gym, we don't like to pull out our phone, flip around with all screens and numbers. So we want to make this as easy as possible. So what we're trying to do with that is integrate the voice and speech recognition to input that data into your application and track that stuff. So have a two-way communication with your device so that you can track your stuff real time.
Windows, yes.
Guys, our presentation is also in Prezi, unfortunately. And
It's on.
Right. Dragon's Call.
Let's
Okay, we'll skip over the rest of the demo and try to get back to that near the end if we can. We're going to straight into the business model for now. We made our market research, and we found that the three main reasons that people use these fitness and health apps are because they want to track their goals, because they have health awareness, or because of motivation, basically. But the bottom line from here is that 1 out of 3 people that uses this kind of apps drop out. And why? The reasons are because they forgot to use it, because it takes too much time, it's too hard to use, or because basically on the positive side they reach their goals. We made our market research, and we have 2 targets, both male and females, fitness fanatics that are aged between 25 to 54. So who's our customer? Our customer are gym goers who enjoy to have this privilege of the technology, to explore better alternatives to optimize the performance, and in a very seamless way. The early adopters are basically serious gym users and militants.
Time is up. Dragons.
We're happy to answer questions that come up.
Maybe this might have been going to be something which is going to be dealt with in the presentation, which obviously technically couldn't be possible. But how automated is the kind of solution in terms of, when you're actually tracking your workouts? Obviously, can you maybe talk through a bit of that, and how much doesn't it have to require you to manually input things?
Sure, yeah, we have a demo for that if you'd like to know.
Start bench press. 10 reps, 100 kilos.
As you can basically see at the bottom, it also calculates the peak performance factor, what we call the PPI. And so it's able to record data seamlessly directly through your iPhone headsets, and you don't even have to take your phone.
In terms of the adoption of this, where's the virality? In terms of, this seems to be a very individual thing that's going to have a hell of a job trying to get large numbers of users. Will they talk to each other about this? Would it go viral?
Sure, that's a question for Channel. I'm going to hand over to Channel.
The way we want to reach our customer is through gyms, as well as people who buy supplements, nutritional supplements, because those are the people who are really, really concerned about their performance. So those are the 2 channels that we're going to use. With gyms, we're going to give them codes for free downloads, as well as people who sell nutritional supplements. They'll give their customers a voucher. Anyone who's purchasing something beyond £15 will get a voucher for a free download.
Just follow my question. We think this is actually going to be a viral thing because it's the first time you can have a 2-way tracking for your workouts. It's usually a 1-way where you see what you're going to do and you do it, and you have no idea, no reason or no way to actually track how you're doing. And we think that's going to be popular amongst people that are this is important to them.
So it's a voice controlled runkeeper for gym goers, basically, in a way, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, are you looking to integrate that with other, fitness bands, or even Runkeeper or other implications to get more comprehensive picture?
Absolutely, we'd love to show you the Apple Watch demo. If you're interested afterwards, we have a full GUI Apple Watch interface that's going to enable you to log it straight from your watch. Yeah. Each and every workout, every rep, log right after you're done with the workout, tracking that as you go.
And on that note, Team Big Fiction, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. Next one, Humble Brag. Team Humble Brag.
I've hit the spaghetti more because it's flavor.
Everybody, please quiet down. Please quiet down. Next scene is up. Thanks.
Hi, my name is Matt, and I represent Humble Brag. So we all heard the maxim fail fast and fail cheap, right? With Humble Brag, we believe that failing or learning by checking the failure of others, so learning from the failure of others is really the best way to learn. Especially if you can learn from like-minded people that engage in the same topic as you do, that like the same things as you do. So just to give you an example, just this month, 565,000 companies, small companies, are being started in the US. It goes without saying that most of them will actually fail. We would like, and that's our vision, really to allow people to talk and to share their failures. So what is Humble Brag? Humble Brag is a community where people can share their failures. The failures are really divided and it can be actually shared within communities and channels. Those channels can be parenting, in which parents are sharing failure as parents. Interviews, in which you can share failures that you have had in interviews. Or startups, that's another channel. Each and every fumble is also structured. So you have the fumble, you have the story, in which you share the story behind the fumble. But most importantly, you have the fix. What would you have done differently as not to fail? We have also baked in an engagement mechanism in which people can share alternative fixes to your fumble. So what would they have done differently as not to fail? We also realized that people have been sharing failures across many platforms, including Medium, including Quora, and on a more fair note, FML, for the ones that have heard about that one before.
Yeah.
What we're bringing to the picture here is a more structured way of doing that. So you can actually get to the point of how to solve your problem or solving the challenge you're having fast. In addition to that, you're going and doing this in an interest-based community, as opposed to be having those long blog posts. With that, I'm going to let Tarek talk really about the traction we have received.
So the goal of this hackathon was to do two things. One is validate the fact that people are willing to consume content like this
and two, validate the fact that people are willing to engage with content like this, right? So we quickly put together the MVP yesterday. We scraped some content off the internet, structured it, put it up on this platform, shared it with our internal network, made sure everything is working and all systems are go. Then we pushed it out to a larger large network like Hacker News, Product Hunt, and Twitter to gather that initial user base. Luckily, because of Hacker News, we got onto the front page within minutes of posting. The next thing you know, we have 80 people on the site at any given point in time. We launched this afternoon. We've had 1,500 visitors so far, about 6,000 page views, confirming the fact that people are willing to consume content like this. And we have about 180 upvotes of all the content in there, confirming the fact people are willing to engage with this sort of content. Right? And this is from across the world. And we launched this afternoon. And in terms of a business, how this works as a business, if we fail to create interest-based communities, which I don't see why we would fail doing that, right? If you fail, which is because you have high CPMs, affiliate marketing, targeted networks, with which we can monetize. If you fail doing that, this would be the worst-case scenario in which you fall back to a £1 per CPM, in which case we need about 1.2 million views every month for this to be a viable business. And in addition to this, we intend to do native promotion where people can pay to promote their thumbnails to get more responses, or a transaction model where people can pay other experts in the field to get contribute to their thumbnail so that they would not make that mistake again. And on that note, I will quickly move to a demo of the platform. So this is FumbleBrag, and it's live at fumblebrag.com. You can go there, sign up, use the platform, submit fumbles. So you can see all the channels that we have in there, and you can, this is like business partnerships. If you click on parenting, you will see all the fails that other parents have gone through. And you can go through and say, for example, one of these things I want to take you through is say, I started a music licensing business and failed with, and realized it was a massive mistake. You can see the fumble, you can see the story behind that failure, the fix that he suggested that you should have done. You also have contributions from the community telling them what to do. As a user, you can also upvote and download comments. Get a feel of as the community that can come around a particular problem. And that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
Wow. As stories like this begin to take off in terms of popularity, the real issue, I guess, is how you maintain your leadership. Where is the sustainable competitive advantages? And that's what I'm struggling with.
So with each, the good thing about good content is that it doesn't die down. Right? Good content, good failures, and good learnings are good forever. Right? So unlike viral content, which comes and goes, learnings are good forever. So the more of this database that we have, the longer the lifespan of the platform. Like something that relies on inherently viral content has the negative side effect of fading away. Good learnings, I think, or we think, will stay much longer.
Yeah, congratulations on the traction on Monotons and Hacker News. It's really awesome. So is that the kind of the focus for the vertical? Is the vertical going to be that kind of like, early adopters, startups, that kind of trend, or where do you think it's going to go next, or what's kind of the plan?
So there's a bit of spray and pray, and actually trying to see where we're going to be getting traction. This is an MVP in the end, but what we do know as well, that's why we have the parenting channel in there. Females are represented on the web, we know that, and actually they are very, very engaged. So we could see that many of the upvotes have been actually into the lenient channel. You girls know about the book, right? The lenient book, in addition to that, having the parenting one. So it might be so that we're going to go into a vertical, but right now we can really take the chance and going and spraying and praying a little bit.
Just to quickly add to that, since it's a two-sided marketplace, we think we'd like to build out the supply. So any categories where people are very open to sharing about their failures, it would be easy for us to focus on those and then really add more categories as we go on.
Yeah, it was really great. Great idea, quite simple. Great design. Congrats on the traction. But yeah, the question is where it's going. It looks a bit like a Reddit for failure in a way. So I may say so. But again, where's it going? I mean, you have to keep on going, and the more traction you get, the more content, the more you do maintenance and everything. So where's the tipping point where you're gonna look into start looking into business models, or
revenue streams.
Right, so one of the things we want to do is eventually, as this grows, like you said, we'd have lack of participation being a problem, we'd have unconstructive feedback being a problem, we'd have replication of coding as the platform being a problem. So we've identified a few things that we'd like to highlight. So once we have curated third-party content coming in, right, that's a never-ending supply. Right? As people post failures on the internet, we source them, post it, and then we ping that person saying, hey, why don't you go and share this failure that we've documented of yours, get more feedback. That's a never-ending supply. So we never run out of content to work with if people are not submitting things. Right? Second is crowdsourcing.
Time is up, unfortunately. Thank you very much. At this point, we're going to go into a 10-minute break, a quick 10-minute break. Everybody come back at 6:40 p.m. Thank you.
One second, please.
The last one is it just because the first one. Yeah, that's true. Apart from the go to the end of the section and just on that side.